Hey there fellow wargamers, nice that you tuned in. I'm very happy. Hit the like button if you haven't done it already. This is Chris in the Tankettes, and today we're going to play Assault Tactics, a new tactical man-to-man combat game that is due towards the end of the year. It is made by Tankette Publishing and Tank Encyclopedia. And it focuses, at least the first part focuses, on the invasion of Poland, which started about 81 years ago on the 1st of September 1939. So just imagine this is somewhere close to the Polish border. The Germans are probing the enemy defenses, and for that they have to secure the road. You can't see the road yet, I have to set it up, but it's no problem because we're working with overlays. Assault Tactics, it can be played as a board game. Here you can see the board game setup. All of the map is completely modular. I pasted the map on foam board and you can just flip it. This is the town side and this is the rural side, and next time I have to do a better job cutting, because here you can see that it doesn't align 100%, but you know, a sharp knife will do. In the solitary rules you have a kind of matrix you're going down, and first of all the human player rolls for his side. I got the allies, so at the moment there is only Poland, and I've rolled for the infantry doctrine. There are 5 doctrines in this game, 3 with the German side. It's infantry, tanks or armor, and mobile reconnaissance for the Germans, and it is infantry and cavalry for the Polish. Then I had to roll for the map setup, which was a mix of town and rural. Here you can see the way I aligned it. I put in some hedges there. As far as cover goes, in the woods you get soft cover, and on these edge squares you can be seen by the enemy, and if you're in there you can't be seen. These hedges give no cover, but you can't be seen if you're like 1 square away from the edge of the hedge. So it just blocks line of sight. There we have a hill. From top of the hill it's easier to shoot at the enemy. You get a range bonus for being on hills. Yeah, you get a hard cover for being in stone houses and soft cover for being in wooden houses. You may also hide with your troops. You can hide in wheat fields, you can hide in houses. If you hide, the enemy can't see you and logically can't shoot at you. Yeah, but now I will set up the roads, and then we'll dive a bit further into the game, and then we will check out which forces I selected, and also which forces the AI will select and how we select these forces. Okay, now we've set up the road here. When you're playing Secure the Road, you have to make sure there is no enemy left on the road or in adjacent squares. As soon as you can fight off the enemy for 3 turns, you will have won the game. This mission objective is for both sides. One of the main aspects of the game are doctrines. I have chosen, or I have rolled for infantry doctrine on the Polish side. I get a certain amount of manpower, equipment points and armored support points. I rolled pretty good on the armored support points. I can lead a Renault 35 infantry tank and a TKS Tankette with a 20mm gun into battle. The Renault is not really known for his firepower, but it gives me a nice armor. I rolled also pretty strong on the manpower, of course. Infantry doctrines get a lot of manpower. Every doctrine has its own commander. And you have 3 different types of soldiers or levels of soldiers. On the top, we have a veteran equipped with a Browning automatic rifle. Then we have 4 more regulars. One of them is with a sniper rifle. The other one has an anti-tank rifle, and the other 2 are equipped with carbines. They also sport 2 anti-personnel grenades. And this guy here, he's just a rookie. He sports a rifle. All these classes get certain bonuses or penalties on how they handle morale and weapons. As I already said, I have 2 tanks. They only have 2 crew per tank, and I've chosen veteran crews. They are more expensive, but they come with a bonus on shooting and driving. And morale, of course. Then I have a heavy MG or medium machine gun. You need 3 crew for that, and I've crewed them with conscript soldiers. I'll get a little penalty on shooting, but the MG, this machine gun, has a lot of firepower. I also got a Sokol, probably I've butchered the name of the motorcycle, but it comes with a sidecar and it fits 2 soldiers. I crammed 2 regulars in there, and they will hopefully get very fast to where they have to be. If you ever are getting confused about the firepower of your weapons or how much they cost, you have these unit cards or weapon cards right here. You will have them in Assault Tactics for every single weapon and vehicle. On the vehicle cards you can see how many people or how many soldiers they can transport. The so-called can carry 2 soldiers, or how many crew members they need to function normally. Also a little explanation on firepower or firepower indicators. This one indicates the firepower against soft skin vehicles and infantry units. This one right here indicates the high explosive value. In this case, it's a grenade, an anti-personnel grenade, and this will affect enemies who are in the same target square. There is an indicator on how well a weapon works versus armored vehicles. Okay, now we have finished selecting the AI troops or randomly drawing the AI troops. They are rolling with the armor doctrine, and that gives them a lot of mobility and a lot of firepower. First up is a Panzer IIA with a crew with an inexperienced crew. Next up is an armored car, the ADGZ which was actually an Austrian model, also with an inexperienced crew, a Panzer 3C with an inexperienced crew, and a Panzerbefehlswagen. It's a little command tank. The commander is riding in there as well as an elite crew. And for the remaining points, there are 3 conscripts in a Kübelwagen. They have a carbine and 2 SMGs and 3 hand grenades. Lucky me will be able to start at the northern board edge, which is the top edge. I have placed my units now across the northern edge of the table, and I'm really keen on knowing where the enemy will enter the battlefield. We'll roll for that. It is a 10, that means they are entering the board on the western edge. We will have to determine where the troops exactly will enter the board. Now let's see. The strongest unit is always placed first. In this case, it's the Panzer 3C5. That means it would be on the left flank. For each flank there is about 2 map tiles. So this right here is right flank, middle, left flank. The German tank will enter the field right here and face towards the enemy right away, because it won't show its side armor just like that. Next unit, it's the armored car is going up next. 3, that's middle, that's better. The armored car will enter on the road and also not showing its side armor to the enemy. Seems like they will fire at the Renault right away. Okay, next up is the Panzer II, the P2A. He will enter right flank. I roll a 2. And on the right flank there's not a lot of space, but I will enter right behind the armored car, which is also an obstacle, and the P2 will be hidden from the enemy because this one is blocking line of sight, this little hut is blocking line of sight too, and there is a really small corridor, but the Renault would have to shoot through that, and also the Tankette won't have a shot at the tank. And a 5, which is a bit unfortunate because it's left flank again. Of course you are able to make bigger maps. These are the maps I have printed out right now, and it's basically every tile there is in the map pack, a maximum of 2 times, but I will make more and make bigger maps to show how this game is working. It's always good if you have this little command tank, because commanders can order group actions, and this commander here will be able to order a group action for the armored vehicles, and for a maximum of 3 armored vehicles they may group move or group concentrate their fire on one target they want to eliminate. And now we have the Kübelwagen left to place on the board. We'll have to roll for that too. And it's luckily it is right flank. Okay. Good. Good. And now we can start the game. Another thing you need to know is that every doctrine comes with a certain amount of actions they can perform in a turn, and the Polish have a 14 for the start for their infantry doctrine, and also the Germans have a 14 to start. You use actions if you move a vehicle, if you fire a gun, if you enter a building, and so on. You always use one action. As soon as you have performed an action, you will document it on the action point counter. The turns are played in alternating fashion. First of all, we have to roll for initiative. Higher number gets the initiative for the turn and starts it. I rolled a 3, which is pretty pathetic, and now the AI will roll, and it's an 8, so the AI will start the turn. So for every AI turn there is a certain sequence, and you always start with the commander first, then you'll go with AFVs, then you move your elite units, then the units with the most firepower, and so on. It's kind of descending. You can see it in the solitaire rules, which will be on the manual. Now the Germans gained the initiative for this turn. That means this bugger right here can perform an action, and we'll just roll what he will do, what the commander will do, and we need a d6 for that. He has rolled a 6. That's very unfortunate for me, because a 6, if I'm not mistaken, is a group command. He could order to concentrate fire on the Renault, but since the troops are not spread out, only the P3 can take a shot at the Polish tank. But hey, we'll take it. The P3 has a armor piercing value of 10, but also the P3 is in very close range, and he'll get a +5 bonus. So the commander would have to roll a 15, that's firepower versus armor, of 10 plus range bonus of 5, but the Renault has a front armor value of 5. So this value is subtracted from the attacker roll, which leaves the P3 at 10 again. So he has to roll a 10 on the D20. 11. Too bad for the German commander. The shot might have bounced off. The tank is hit with a spent marker, so everybody knows that he is done. Now it is, and also the commander is hit with a spent marker. Maybe he should have gotten out of range. One action for the commander and another one for the tank. The commander ordered and the tank performed. So you have to subtract 2 from the action point counter. There you can see it was at 14 and you move it down to 12. Very easy. So that leaves me with the Renault. And I will take a shot at the P3. I am in super close range, as we figured out before, and I have a veteran crew. Count the veteran crew in for a +1 on my attack roll. You can see the card. I have a 7 shooting on armored targets, a +5 because of being very, very close range. That leaves me 7 + 5 is 12, +1 is 13. Of course, the P3 is armored. It's paper thin armor. It's only a 2. So we had 15. That makes a roll needed for me of 13. 4. That means the tank is hit. And now I have to figure out what happens to the tank. And for that we roll a d12. Armor piercing rounds, ammo storage hit, vehicle explodes, every crew member is at least injured. That's pretty bad for the Germans. Pretty bad luck. The tank explodes and every crew member is at least injured. Now we have 5 crew members and we have to roll what happens to them. 10. If they get injured again, they are dead. Yes, they are dead. All crew members die. That's a pretty big hit for the Germans because there is another way to lose the game. We haven't talked about morale yet, and we are playing a skirmish at the beginning of Case White, Fall Weiß, the invasion of Poland, and there in the rules it says the German morale is set at 8 and the Polish morale is set at 9. Later on, maybe in the game, we'll have morale checks too. As soon as the infantry will fire at each other, we will see what a morale check is for and how that works. But now all you have to know is base morale value of 8 times 3 is 24. This sets the maximum number on the kill count for the Germans. And the kill count is this thing right here. They will put that destroyed tank, which is a 5, and 5 dead crew members on there. You could only mark it with dice. You can place the kill count beside your game board. The wreck will stay. I will put a little fire marker on it. You can also put a wreck token on it. Now it's the Germans' turn again. They have taken a pretty big hit. Now it's the strongest remaining unit, which is this one right here. The armored car. And the armored car scores a 3. 3 means double move and shoot. Okay. Units move always towards the mission objective. Right here, the mission objective is taking the road. It's right on the objective, but let's say it drives along the road. You also get bonuses for driving on the road. You have all the stats for the different terrains in the manual. Here is a draft of the manual. I have printed it on 2 pages per page, so I don't have 70 pages to skip through. Roads, +2 for wheeled vehicles. So the range vehicle can move, you see on the stat card 2d12 wheeled. That means I can move 4d12. Let's get 4d12. 2 4s and 2 7s. That is 14, 22 squares plus 2. And we'll drive along the road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, bulb. Okay, he'll stop at right here, and he will take a shot, or he could drive up the hill. No, he will take a shot at the Tankette. Maybe he will go just a bit further and take a close range shot at the Tankette. The Tankette is very thinly armored on front armor. Well, I could also, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then I could drive to the sides to get a side shot at the side armor of the Tankette. I might as well do that. So this is 12. 1, 2, 3 is 15. The armored car is taking a side shot at the Tankette. It is in close range, not in super close range, but we have movement points left and we'll drive up to super close range. It has a armor piercing value of 6, plus 5 is 11, but I have to subtract 1 point for the rookie crew, and I also have to subtract another point for the side armor of the Tankette. So that leaves me with 9. 9 or lower. We have hit the vehicle with a spent token, and now we have to subtract 3 from the, which leaves the Germans at 9 action points or 8 action points left, and I will turn that Tankette because he's out of my angle. It's always 90 degrees and he's just outside of the angle, and so I have to pivot and then take a shot at the armored car. Now, pivot, 1 action, shoot, another action. The Tankette is armed with a 20mm gun. It is shooting at super close range. This is not the right value. I just figured that I have made a mistake on the unit card, but that's not bad. It's not released yet, so this has to be a 6 and not an 8. So 6 plus super close is 11, plus veterancy bonus is 12, and the Steyr has a frontal armor value of 2. So we said 12 minus 2 is 10 again. And I got lucky again. 3. I have hit the Steyr, and now we will have to figure out what happens to it. 8. Immobilized. The vehicle cannot move for the remainder of the game. That's a bummer for the Germans, for sure. And now it is time for the first morale check. The Germans are at an 8. They have a rookie crew. A rookie crew always gets a -1 on morale checks. Now you roll that d12 again. And it's a 10. The crew would have made it if they rolled 7 or lower. Because base morale value for the Germans in this one is 8 -1 for being inexperienced. So 7 or lower to pass the morale check. They haven't passed. Now we have to roll that d12 again to see what happens to the crew. And they roll a 7. No effect. The crew feels safe because it is in an armored vehicle despite the enemy having immobilized it. No effect, so the AI can take a deep breath and go on playing. Now, it is the turn of the P2 because it is the strongest unit left on the field. It is an AFV with 2 actions, and a 6 is a fire twice order. Now you see there is nothing to fire at. I cannot fire at the Tankette. It would have to be on the bridge to be fired at. So I just passed. The unit hasn't done anything, so it doesn't have to be hit with a spend mark. I will plunge forward with this motorcycle. It is a transport, and transports can either mount friendly troops and drive, or drive and dismount friendly troops. These are already mounted, and I'm trying to get in these woods right now. I've rolled more than 20, 30. I can go 30, and that's pretty far. I don't have to go full range. I will drive the guys up there and let them dismount here and here. Troops can dismount in adjacent squares. Maybe, no. Let's make it this way because the satchel charge is better against tanks, and I will try to blow up the next tank. So that's 2 actions again for me. I will have to document it on the action point counter, and I will have to hit. This was a spent, and we need a abandoned counter for the vehicle because there is simply nobody riding it anymore. Next turn for the Germans. It is that P2 again. Let's see if we can roll something that might be useful. It's a 5, and 5 says fire twice. That's simply not possible. Now I have my commander right here. I will order a group action. I can order a group action of up to 6 for up to 6 soldiers. And that's good because we are 5 right here. 1 square fits a maximum of 3 infantry units. So I can order every soldier in adjacent squares to do a group action. We will do a group move at the double, but HMGs can only move once. So the HMG will move like this, and the others will move at the double. Infantry can move 2 squares at a time, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, which puts me in the open. That would be kind of awkward, but this hatch right here is blocking line of sight, so all is good. I'm trying to get down there to get a better shot at everything that's coming down that road. Good. That leaves me. Of course you have to subtract all the points you have used now. I have moved, I have ordered, and I have moved 5 units, so that makes 6 action points, which leaves me with exactly 2 action points left for this turn. Now it's back to the Germans again. They still have 8 action points left because they couldn't do anything with the rolls they got. So let's see. It's that P2 again, and this time he rolls a 3. That's move or pivot and shoot. Finally. Now we will move and shoot. And this here is kind of a sucky position for such a force because tracked vehicles cannot enter woods, so he will drive around. So now let's see. The P2 moves at 1d12 if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 1d12. So 2. That is so bad I can't even describe it. Which makes me move like 1, 2, and that's it. Hit it with a sprint marker. And then it's my turn again. I guess I will move the bar in the house to give it more cover. One, yeah, let's see what I got. So I have a nice angle. Hit it with a spent marker and subtract 1 point for 1 action. The Germans will be able to move their transport, and transports always work like that for the AI. They move and then unload. They always have one move and then they will unload. The Kübelwagen moves at 3d12. 15. We will unload right there. Always make decisions in the best interest of the AI. So if it won't move over the field just moving around just to move, but always with a purpose. This is 2 actions. The Germans have actions left, but they don't have any units left that can move. Kübelwagen has to be hit with an abandoned marker. So this leaves me with quite some troops left, but I only have 1 action point left. So I can move exactly 1 infantry unit 1 square, and that's or 2 squares, and that's it. I'll take this regular and go 1, 2. This hill is blocking line of sight, so I'm kind of safe from fire that's from over there, but this one, if he pivots and shoots at me, I'm kind of toast. But we'll see later. Now, the Germans can't move any units anymore because they don't have any that can move, and I can't do anything anymore because I don't have any action points left. That means this turn is now over. We will remove all of the spent markers. So far, by the beginning of turn 2, always on new turns, think about resetting your action point value on the action point counters. Now we'll have to roll for the initiative. I scored a 10. The AI is going first again by scoring a 12. Strongest unit goes first. The strongest remaining unit is that armored car over there. Germans have scored a 3. The armored car can take 1 shot at the tankette. Germans are simply not able to hit a sitting duck. Now it is my turn again, and I will of course try to hit the armored car. Now the P2 is up. He will fire twice. I will shoot twice at the machine gun. So the HE value for the P2 is 10. I'm not in close range, so I'll need a 9 or lower because I get a penalty of -1 because of the rookie crew. The MG out there is in hard cover, so I am looking at a 7 or lower on the D20, which with this kind of luck is nearly impossible to manage, but hey. And I managed to score a hit. So now I have hit the gun. I will have to roll, because it is HE, I will have to roll for the effect on each soldier and for the effect on the gun. First of all, let's roll for the gun. 2. This means the gun is destroyed. And now I have to roll for the effect on the soldiers. 1 is suppressed and 2 of them are killed. So it's 5 on the kill count. Hit it with a spent marker. And the bad thing is for the Germans, now they have used all of their possible actions for this round. I will order a group move with the and move at the double. 1, 2, 3, 4. So next turn there is a regular with an anti-tank gun who will be able to shoot at the P2. Now I will move them up. to the hill. I can only move 1 or 2 because I get a -1 on moving on the hill. So 1, 2, 1, 2. I will also move them up and try to get a hold on this one right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Move at the double. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will be performing a little pincer movement. Now we start turn number 3, or is it already number 4? I have lost track a bit, but anyways, we will have to roll for initiative first. Blue is me and pink is the AI, and I may start the turn because I have a 12 and the AI only has a 11. So my first action will be I'm trying to destroy that command tank 8. I have hit the enemy tank again. Let's see what happens. 12. That's gun damage again, so no harm on that one. Really, because it already had gun damage. AI turn. The command tank is up first. Move or pivot or shoot. Maybe I should move somewhere. Okay, we're hiding behind the house. That's the smartest thing to do. Because I cannot shoot, I only can order group actions with that kind of thing, or the AI will be only able to order group actions. So you hide with this from enemy fire, it can get destroyed, it won't weigh in on the kill count, the commander will be still there, and his action point value will not be lost. So I will try to hit this chap. I am in close range. Small arms have a bonus of +2 on close range, so I have an 8. He is in soft cover. That is a 7 to hit on the D20. This is not great, but 15, no hit. So now it's the turn of this one again. Let's see what he will do. 4. This is move, pivot, and shoot. 2. That's a hit. And now we'll see how it will affect the Tankette. 9. A veteran crew member is killed, so the Germans gain another 3 on the kill count, and they are now up to 8 on the kill count, and the Tankette, which has lost a crew member, will be able to perform only 1 action from now on per turn, and morale check for the crew of for the remaining 1 dude in there. 3. He passes the morale check. It's my turn again, and I will try to hit the armored car again. I need a 12 to hit it, and I have scored a 4, which is more than enough to hit the armored car. And now we'll have to determine the effect on the car. It's a 10. Crew member killed. So they are down to 5 crew members. Put a little die on there. It's only 5 crew members. There's only 1 crew member left. And now it's the AI turn again. all they can do is move this one up here. So we'll figure out what to do with the guy. 4, move and shoot. So I will move up 1d12. 3, that's brilliant. I get a +1 for moving in this kind of terrain, so I will be able to move up 4. This one will get shut up. It's super close range, so 6, but I need a 10 to hit. Four. Let's check for the effect on a soldier. 6. He is suppressed and has to take a morale test. 8. Polish morale is at 9, and so he won't have any penalties on that. So he's a regular, so no penalties for him. 8. He passes the morale test. Oh, no, he doesn't, because he's getting shot from behind. He has a -2. He fails the morale test. So he would have needed a 7 or lower. And now we'll figure out what this 9 failed morale checks. Draw back 2 squares, no further effect. So draw back 1, 2, or back is actually in this. 1, 2, he's in the open. Now all German units are spent again. I will move up this little piggy. Now we'll start with turn 5. The situation for the Germans has not gotten very much better, although they caught up on the kill count, but they still have lost a Panzer III, which made them hurt very much. So, yeah, let's roll for initiative again. Blue is me, pink is the AI. Four and 11. This guy with the Maroshek will try to hit this one again. We said it is close range. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 squares, that's a +3, which is 8, -2 is 6. 20, no hit, spend again. Now the P2 will take a turn. The P2 has rolled for pivot and shoot. He pivots this way so he can shoot at the guys up on the hill. He will try to shoot up these 2 guys. And he needs a 9 to hit them. 15. Those dice must have been weighted. I've rolled multiple 15s now. So, no luck for the P2 again. I will try to drive up my tank up there and get close to the command tank. So, 1 action for moving and 1 for shooting. Eight. Penalty for moving on Wheat fields is -1 for tracked vehicles, so I still have a 7 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or I could go 6 and turn, so I can see them both. I will take a shot at this one right here, so this is 6, this is close range. 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 1 for the elite crew is 11. So I need a 11 or lower to hit the tank, which, no, that's not quite right, because he has a frontal armor of 3. That will leave me at a 8 to hit the tank. So 8 or lower. Let's see if we can manage. 3, the tank is hit. Now let's see what. 7. It is immobile, it can't shoot anymore, so it's pretty useless right now. All it could do is order group actions, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll have to do a morale check on the crew. They are base morale value for the Germans at the beginning of the war is 8, plus 2 being in the vehicle with a commander, plus 1 being veteran, so anything lower than a 12 is a passed test, so they pass the morale check. Now it's the turn of the armored car again. 4, that's move and shoot. Haha, it can't move, but it will take a shot at this one over there. So 6 plus 5 is 11, minus 1 for the rookie crew, minus 2 for the frontal armor of this little tankette. So I need an 8 or lower. No hit. Spend marker. And this is just a pathetic duel over there. And this will also be my next action. 1 action per turn. So I will take a shot at the armored car once again. 6 plus 5 is 11, plus 1 is 12, minus 2 for frontal armor is 10. So 2, I have hit the armored car, and 11 means now the gun is damaged. The gun is damaged, and this is the time where I am calling it quits, because the Germans have only 1 operable tank left. Their shooting has been atrocious. It's already the 5th turn. We've played for 2 hours or more, and that's it. The Polish have drawn the enemy back, and yeah, I hope I will see you next time for another game of Assault Tactics. There will be adjustments made. I'm not really sure about the way movement is right now, because the transports move all over the place. When they have 4d12, they will get crazy. They can move from one side to the other. This can be very a very funny thing, but also pretty disturbing at times. So thanks a lot for watching. Hit that like button and have a good time and happy wargaming.